Most people think that the rapper FBG Duck's case is closed after his fatal death last year. However, news and leaks shows otherwise. Keep watching to find out the cover-up behind his murder. FBG Duck was gunned down in his prime. He died at the young age of 26. At an age when most rappers thrive in their career, the rapper suffered an immediate exit from life. The rising rap artist died after he was shot in broad daylight just outside of a store in the city's Gold Coast neighborhood. Rappers losing their lives to gang violence has sadly become part of the culture. The past few years have witnessed the death of rising stars in the game. These rappers like FBG still have the firm grip of the streets on them. Despite the adulation they enjoyed from their music, they still have some people lurking in the background who want something more than their art. They desired their life. The 26-year-old rapper was a well-respected, well-loved rapper, but also a well-hated one. FBG sustained gunshot wounds to his torso and was announced dead after being taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. He sustained 38 gunshot wounds. He tried to fight back, but his gun jammed.
It was a Chicago rapper who was gunned down here. They say 2 other people were also shot when 4 gunmen, witnesses say, jumped out of cars and fired from just a few feet away.
After his passing away, disturbing videos were circulating on social media. One video showed FBG on the ground after he was shot. In the disturbing clip, a man in a blue tracksuit, believed to be FBG, was shown struggling face down on the pavement. 2 other people shared in the misadventure as they were seriously hurt. One witness claimed they counted about 17 shots. The cops recovered 1 weapon from the scene. His girlfriend, who was waiting in the parked car, was shot twice in her left wrist. She was taken to the hospital where she was stabilized. A 36-year-old man was hit in the back and leg and taken to the hospital in serious condition. This incident took place near 70 East Oak Street. The area is popularly known for some of Chicago's most costly shopping. The area turned into a crime scene on that Tuesday afternoon as everywhere got rattled by gunfire. 3 individuals were shopping when 2 cars pulled up gang style. 4 people came out of the cars and shot at the rappers on the sidewalk. After they got satisfied, the shooters fled the scene by car. Cops were not too far away from the scene, as I said they were standing on the sidewalk near the Dolce & Gabbana store, just a few steps from Michigan Avenue.
Vehicles pulled up. 4 individuals exited those vehicles, 2 from each vehicle, and began firing.
FBG's life wasn't without drama. For someone who raps about guns, he was certainly all about that life. His death was motivated by a gang war we do not have the full details about. Rappers like FBG are gang affiliated, and they don't do too much to hide it. FBG Duck was a member of the rap group Flyboy Gang. The majority of Flyboy Gang members belong to the Gangsta Disciples Gang, from the set that used to be known as the St. Lawrence Boys, which now goes by Tuka Gang. Tuka Gang is a gang in Chicago. The gang took the name to honor Shondell Gregory, the 15-year-old who went by the name Tuka. In 2012, Tuka suffered the same fate as FBG. Tuka was standing on the bus stop when a vehicle pulled up in front of him. A man got out of the vehicle and after exchanging words, shot the teenager multiple times. Tuka died on the scene. Tuka was a member of the Gangsta Disciples. His shooting was said to be in retaliation for the death of another gang member who was part of the Black Disciples and is thought to have been murdered by Gangsta Disciples members.
Me and him clicked, like that was one of my real close friends. Like every day, like spend the night at his house, he spend the night at mine. We together, everything like.
FBG was friends with Tuka. He was also friends with K.I. the Assassin, who was allegedly murdered by King Von and his O-Block members. Sources have it that the motive of FBG's death was that he mocked a rival gang member and that O-Block members might be behind the hit. FBG made a rap where he made insulting statements toward a member of the Black Disciples, who had passed away. If his killing was in retaliation for the video, it wouldn't be the first of gang violence linked to rap music in Chicago. While there are many clips on social media depicting Chicago street violence that include online threats, a link between the video and shooting is common. The rapper associated himself with a faction of the Gangsta Disciple street set called Draw City, which was based near 62nd Street and Vernon Avenue in West Woodlawn, according to cops. But on social media, he claims to be a member of the Gangsta Disciples faction called STL-EBT, which is in the same neighborhood and mostly friendly with Draw City. Since last year, there's been a serious conflict between Gangsta Disciples and the O-Block faction of the Black Disciples. Before rap music became the biggest export out of Chicago, gangsters were addressing beef on the street big time. The Gangsta Disciples were formed in Southside Chicago in the 1960s by Larry Hoover and David Barksdale, who was the leader of the Black Disciples. The 2 groups united to form the Black Gangsta Disciple Nation. Eventually, the group divided into factions known today as the Gangsta Disciples and Black Disciples. Today, the 2 gangs have become bitter rivals. There are as many as 30,000 Gangsta Disciples in Chicago by comparison to the 4,000 Black Disciples. The Gangsta Disciple Nation over the years has enjoyed expansion, power, and dominance. The gang has grown beyond being a gang and are about growth and development. The allure of this gang is what drags many teenagers to them. They want to do it big time. Even when these gangs are secretive about their organization, they have rappers like FBG to preach their message in their songs. The Chicago community has witnessed a lot of deaths in recent years. Gang activities are responsible for the majority of this. A lot of rappers have lost their lives over a feud that has nothing to do with music. King Von was the last prominent member of the Chicago rap scene to pay for his life. FBG Duck beat with plenty of rappers before he died. Some of his victims included those in Glory Boys Entertainment. Chief Keef, who was the leader of Glory Boys Entertainment, dissed the Tuka Gang in multiple tracks. In response, FBG and the other Flyboy gang members made their own songs dissing Chief Keef and other Black disciples. After his death, Chief Keef mocked the rapper in a viral video. In the video, Keef called the blunt he was smoking duck. It's getting crazier in Chicago as there's no love, even in death. FBG is also beef with E-Day, another rapper from Chicago. He released a track with Lil J titled Who the Dude and E-Day diss. E-Day proceeded to tweet about Duck getting stabbed. Duck didn't think the tweet was amusing. He made threats to harm E-Day if he saw him. He also had the problems with King Von. Sadly, both rappers are no longer with us. King Von had a beef with FBG before he died. Von said that he spoke to FBG before the Chicago rapper died, claiming that they settled their differences. Taken to social media, King Von said that even though the rapper dissed his friends and family members in the track released prior to his killing, their beef was squashed after they had a conversation. He went on further to tease the track featuring his fellow Chicago rapper, which he was planning to keep for an upcoming project. Irrespective of everything he said, people weren't buying Von's claims that he and Duck were on good terms prior to the shooting. Many jumped into the comments to call out Von for supposedly capping, using his history with Duck as proof. While Von may have been gracious in death, other rappers didn't share his sentiment. 600 Breezy made headlines as he had plans to move forward with the release of a diss track against FBG. After receiving backlash, he replied saying, "I'm supposed to not drop my song because he actually died?" He wrote, "It." The second verse of the track, Stop Playing, predicts Duck's death. 600 Breezy goes after him, declaring the now deceased rapper will get killed over diss tracks. Lil Durk, who had his own issue with Duck, took his beef with him to the next level as he called the late rapper out in the track. While he was still reeling from his friend and protege, King Von's death, he still had time to send shots at FBG. Durk took to Instagram Live to celebrate the release of his latest album, The Voice. In the process, he played some unreleased tracks, and in a particular track, Durk took a shot at his dead rival, FBG. The track got an angry response from FBG Duck's mother. "Y'all really showing y'all rich off mentioning my son," she said. "Y'all rich off mentioning Tuka. Show your craft. Do something else besides dissing music." Apparently, it seems we might not have to wait too long to know the killers of FBG Duck. 5 men have been alleged to be behind the shooting. These individuals have been charged according to a federal indictment unsealed Wednesday. The men, Charles Liggins, known as C. Murder, 30, Kenneth Robertson, also known as Kenny, and Kenny Mack, 28, to Carlos Offord, also known as Los, 30, Christopher Thomas, also known as C-Thang, 22, and Marcus Smart, also known as Muwap, 22, are the suspected killers of the Chicago rapper. A statement released from the U.S. Attorney's Office said the 5 men are members of the O Block Street Gang. These guys seemingly claim responsibility for acts of violence in Chicago and use social media platforms and music to increase their criminal enterprise.
5 alleged Chicago street gang members now facing federal charges in connection with the shooting death of a local rapper downtown.
The O Block Gang violently protected its territories on the south side of Chicago and allegedly engaged in numerous acts of violence, the statement said. In August, several friends and family members of FBG Duck gathered in the exact spot he was killed last year for a memorial.
FBG Duck was well respected in the city, was well loved, but with being well loved, he was always also well hated.
The most dangerous block in Chicago isn't either Inglewood or the West Side. It's a stretch of South King Drive where a certain young Michelle Obama once lived. That neighborhood that produced the First Lady of America now houses a lot of gangsters. Gang members christened the block O Block. O Block is a Black disciple set, first called Parkway Gardens. The O in the name was for Odie Perry, a gang member killed just around the corner in 2011. And who was the killer? A female gangster named Jakara Barnes. The teenager herself was later shot to death not far from there. Perry's on a list of 19 people killed on O Block between 2011 and 2014. That automatically makes it the most dangerous block in Chicago. Despite how crazy it's been over the past few years, things appear to be better now around O Block than before. This is according to the cops and politicians.
We are going after gangs in this city. We are working together to hold gang members accountable for violence.
Not that people actually believe what these people say. O Block is also christened as Wick City, Toontown, Keter World, Sherroy Squad, Whitey Gang, Money Gang, Stretch Gang, City of Heck, and Get Back Gang. In the 1900s, before it became the death zone it is now known for, the area of O Block was a huge amusement park named White City, which opened in 1905, but closed in 1933 after a fire burned out almost the entire park. Some famous people who have lived in Parkway Gardens are Michelle Obama and NBA player Dwayne Wade. O Block was made famous among hip-hop fans by Lil Durk, King Von, Fredo, and other rappers who grew up in the neighborhood. King Von, who got killed in Atlanta last year, named his debut album Welcome to O Block, paying tribute to his former neighborhood. According to police, the Black disciples control both sides of King Drive and Parkway Gardens, and the rival gangster disciples claim the neighborhood of single-family homes to the east. Chicago FBG Duck was born in 1993 and raised on the dangerous south side of the city. He got caught up with gangs and street violence at a tender age. Violence was a major issue as he began his rap career in his teenage years. His older brother, FBG Brick, was shot and killed in 2017. FBG Duck's dramatic lifestyle and close ones who died were frequent topics in his mixtape releases, which included highlights like 2015's Different Personalities, the 2017 follow-up Different Personalities 2, and 2018's Emotionally Volatile, Look at Me. Chicago might be known for producing music heavyweights like Kanye West, but the city now suffers the reputation of producing gang-affiliated rappers who lead dangerous lives.